Okay, quickly, I just kind of wanted to touch on a conversation that I had, and I never thought that I would have it because it just kind of doesn't. Anyways, I had a conversation with a woman. We were just talking, and we kind of go through. It is someone I respect and value a lot, but we came to a disagreement when we was talking about this. There are like modes to feminism. This is something I'm learning, like third wave feminism, red feminism, all these other terms to describe like the variations of feminism. Uh, One of the arguments that have been relatively consistent throughout the lifespan of this movement, the feminist movement, is the like the equal pay situation, and that came up, and it immediately clicked with me as to why feminism is not necessarily for minorities. When you look at hey, what's being done to protect feminists? What's being done to promote the equality among the genders? And you look at what's actually been done, and it's just they're things that are done in disguise. You have like the Violence Against Women Act, which is unconstitutional with respect to the 14th Amendment. You have what is it? Affirmative action. Affirmative action, which really doesn't help black people, but it does help women, in particular white women. And there are articles and articles and articles with proof that they go by the statistics, the employment statistics, what people make, who's being hired. It disproportionately benefits white women over every other minority that the bill purports to protect. We are the face of affirmative action, but white women benefit from this. Going back to the pay gap, when you look at, one of the talking points for feminists, well, we make less than men. It's like, well, white women make more money than black men. That should be understood right away. They make more. So the argument isn't necessarily that women make less money than men. It's that on average, white women make less money than white men. The only people who come close to the amount of money that's being made in workplaces is Asians. And in some cases, Asians actually make more money. But just going back to who is this argument for? It's just a bunch of women, white women, who want to argue with white men. Because if they had issues with pay disparities, then they would address that point. It's like, as a white woman, I make way more money than a black man, than a Hispanic man, So, and it's just a quick video, just something to kind of jump on. There's a bunch of stuff. This feminism is kind of silly, and I'm tired of being included in arguments when it's talking about equal rights of people. When the people who are complaining about their rights have inherently more rights than a lot of people. White women have more rights than pretty much every other race of people, and even a lot of white men. But in certain sectors, there are disparities. But to frame it as all women being treated with less regard than all men, that's just not accurate. And it's not a good argument, it's not a valid argument, especially when you talk about wanting equality, when you know that you benefit from a system way more than other groups of people. Very much protected. You're just vying for dominance against men, against white men. You want to be the dominant person, because I guarantee you that all white women who make this argument would not take the average pay for all black men, right? All Hispanic men. You wouldn't do it because you make more money than those men. Your argument is just with white men. And I have no issue with you guys arguing amongst yourselves. Anyone arguing, but don't include me. Stop including minorities, black women, and all these other people in this conversation when it's really just something, you're just using these groups, these marginalized groups, to bolster your argument and strengthen your position. Not to be disrespectful, I believe that feminism is necessary in some respects, but I think it's definitely lost its way, and it's not as meaningful when it's all about just being heard and fishing for things to complain about.